Let me ask you something. How many times have you held back from going after something you truly wanted because of fear? How many opportunities have you let slip away simply because you doubted yourself? The fear of failure, of rejection, of embarrassment, or even of success. It all feels paralyzing, doesn't it? But what if I told you that fear is not the enemy? What if I told you that fear is actually an indicator that you're standing at the edge of something amazing? The truth is that the greatest breakthroughs in life come right after our greatest fears. Fear is not meant to stop you. It's meant to show you where growth is waiting. That's why today we're going to break down how you can stop allowing fear to dictate your decisions and instead turn it into your greatest strength. The first step to turning fear into strength is understanding it. Fear is not an enemy. It's a survival mechanism that has kept humans alive for thousands of years. It's the fight or flight response, the alert system that tells us when there might be danger. But in today's world, fear often doesn't come from physical threats, but from emotional and psychological ones. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of stepping out of what feels comfortable. These fears are just as real as physical danger, but the good news is that we have the ability to reframe them. Instead of seeing fear as a signal to stop, start seeing it as a sign that you're on the edge of something meaningful. If something scares you, it's because it matters. And when something matters, it's worth pushing through the fear to reach the other side. One of the biggest mistakes people make with fear is trying to avoid it. We distract ourselves, procrastinate, make excuses. But the problem with avoiding fear is that it doesn't make it disappear. It only makes it stronger. What you resist persists. The more you run from your fears, the more power they have over you. The first step to overcoming fear is to face it, acknowledge it, name it. What exactly are you afraid of? Of failing? Of being laughed at? Of feeling uncomfortable? When you name your fear, you take away part of its power. You go from being controlled by it to being aware of it. Awareness is the first step toward transformation. Fear and excitement feel exactly the same in the body. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, adrenaline rises. The only difference between fear and excitement is the story you tell yourself about it. The next time you feel fear, try changing your perspective. Instead of saying, "I'm afraid," say, "I'm excited." Instead of thinking, "What if I fail?" ask yourself, "What if I succeed?" Instead of believing, "I'm not ready," remind yourself, "I'm growing," and growth is never comfortable. This small mental shift can create massive changes. Fear stops being something that paralyzes you and becomes something that pushes you forward. Take small actions. Action is the antidote to fear. Thinking about fear won't make it go away. Only action will. But you don't have to take giant leaps to overcome it. Small, consistent steps are just as powerful. If you're afraid of public speaking, start by speaking in front of one person. If you're afraid of failure, start by taking a small risk. If you fear rejection, start exposing yourself in low-risk situations. Every time you take a small step forward, you prove to yourself that fear doesn't have to control you. You build confidence. You build resilience. You train your mind and body to see fear as something you can overcome. Embrace discomfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to grow, you must get comfortable with discomfort. Fear thrives in comfort zones. It keeps you small, it keeps you safe. It prevents you from becoming who you are meant to be. But the truth is that everything you want, confidence, success, fulfillment, lies on the other side of discomfort. It's in the moments when you push yourself, when you challenge yourself, when you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. So start embracing discomfort. Seek challenges. Face situations that demand more of you. Remember that every moment of discomfort is a sign you're growing. The greatest achievers in history didn't get where they are by staying in comfort. They constantly pushed themselves into discomfort and trusted that their struggles were shaping them. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand it. What once seemed terrifying eventually becomes second nature. This is how resilience is built, by repeatedly facing discomfort until you realize you're far more capable than you ever imagined. Build resilience as strength is not about never feeling fear, but about learning to move forward in spite of it. Resilience is built through experience, by overcoming difficulties, by proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. Think of times when you faced fear and came out stronger. Maybe you were scared to start something new, but you did it anyway. Maybe you feared failure, but you learned something valuable in the process. Maybe you were afraid to be vulnerable, but you built deeper connections because of it. Every time you overcome fear, you build resilience. You train yourself to see fear not as a barrier, but as a springboard. The most resilient people aren't the ones who never feel fear, but the ones who have learned to turn fear into a tool for personal power. True resilience comes from being adaptable. When life throws challenges at you, instead of breaking, you learn to bend. Instead of giving up, you learn to keep moving forward. And as you continue developing resilience, fear begins to lose its grip on you. You start trusting yourself more, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to overcome it. One of the best tools you have to overcome fear is your mindset. The way you think about fear determines how much control it has over you. When you adopt a growth mindset, fear becomes a challenge to overcome instead of an obstacle that holds you back. Start training your mind to see fear as an opportunity rather than a limitation. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," remind yourself, "I haven't figured it out yet." Instead of saying, "I always fail," shift to, "Every failure is one step closer to success." Your mind is your most powerful asset. Use it to your advantage. Trust yourself. At the core of fear lies doubt. Doubt in yourself, in your abilities, in your potential. But you are stronger than you think. You've already overcome many challenges, obstacles, and fears. Start trusting yourself. Start believing in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Start seeing fear as part of the journey, not as the end of it. Confidence is not about knowing you'll never fail, but about knowing you'll be okay even if you do. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. The more you trust yourself, the braver you become. The more risks you take, the more you realize that even when things don't go as planned, you'll always find a way to move forward. You are capable. You are strong. You are more than your fears. The only approval you truly need is your own. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and that every challenge you face is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Fear is not something to eliminate. It's something to harness. It's a powerful energy that, when directed correctly, can propel you toward your greatest strengths. The key is to change your relationship with fear. Stop seeing it as a stop sign and start seeing it as a sign that you're stepping into something meaningful. So face your fears, reframe them. Take action even when you're afraid. Embrace discomfort. Build resilience and trust yourself. Because on the other side of fear, that's where your strength lies. You have a choice. You can let fear control you, or you can take control of it. You can let it hold you back, or you can let it push you forward. You can let it weaken you, or you can use it to become the strongest, boldest, most unstoppable version of yourself. Fear will never disappear completely, but you can always overcome it. Now tell me in the comments, what fear has been holding you back lately? I want to know your story and how you plan to face it. If this message resonated with you, give it a like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more content that will help you grow and reach your fullest potential. See you in the next video. Remember, fear does not define your destiny. You do.